So, hello. We're starting something a little bit different today. I'm starting a new character, which isn't all that different for me. I do it fairly often, but I'm going to be doing a spears build from scratch. One of the things I don't do is power level usually on my alternate characters. This is mostly going to be just showing how to make a build. So if we at some point get to where we need XP, we might jump in like an XP group or something like that, or I might transfer gold from another account to get a gear upgrade. If we get to the point where it's basically the next thing to do to advance your character is, go play for a week or two. We're not necessarily going to do that on this character. So I'm a little bit less strict about that, but we're going to go through and hopefully show some things, hopefully learn some things, and hopefully have some fun. All right, so the first thing we need for a new character is a name, which I'm not necessarily the best at. Little Bobby Mudpants. And for this stuff, I just pretty much do random. There we go. All right, so right from the start, we're at a bit of a disadvantage as a spears player because we don't have a spear. So our first thing is going to be finding a spear as quickly as we can. But we do have some starter weapons. We could pull out a bow from the start, and it's pretty effective. But we can also start leveling some tactic stuff. Okay, actually, all turned on by default, which is good. Healing will be good. Dodge. We're probably going to do a heavy armor build, probably chainmail build for this. A little more traditional for a spears thing. So we can't start leveling this yet. We don't have a heavy chest piece. Spear and chest piece. Those will be two of the kind of the first orders of priority. And in the meantime, it's not going to matter what we use. So we'll just use the bow that we have by default. So right through here, this isn't like a from the scratch game tutorial. It's more of a build tutorial, but I am going to be getting some of the XP, a lot of the XP from questing, because it's just a good way to get beginner XP. You can do, hey, Muddy Pants, yeah, follow me. You can do whatever for starter XP. You can run straight through this zone and get out and just get out adventuring, which is what I did the first time I started playing. Both first times I started playing, because I played in offline mode before I got started, but a shield might be handy for us for a while. We'll grab that shield. Guess we don't come across a better one before we decide to use it. Training skills. Again, we're gonna have to go ranged, even though we're not really going ranged. But it's a free skill to learn, basically, just to unlock this gate. So, oh, I have to drag it to my bar as well before he'll let me through. There we go. Really, we can just run past this stuff. It's not giving us a lot of XP or anything compared to what we'll get once we get into Solace Bridge. Well, Solace Bridge outskirts. I guess this is the Battlefield Solace Bridge. But Edvard the Wanderer over here will boat us on over, ferry us on over. A little bit more productive grounds, I think. How you doing? I know, it's tragic. Alright, toodaloo. And now here in Solace Bridge outskirts is where it'll really start. Alright, so we got a leather helm from him. That's good. We'll put that on for the little... Alright. Leather helm. So spears are a little bit harder to come by here. There's not mobs carrying spears for you just to grab, so let's see if we can sell some stuff. We only have 40 gold. We'll probably need to do a quest or two before we grab a spear, but it'd be nice to get into one as soon as possible. This guy back here, this blacksmith, got some basic gear and weapons. We won't be able to get a chest now, definitely. That'll be a little bit later, but hopefully we can afford a spear. Do we have anything that's worth it? Recall scrolls. Yeah, I'm not going to have a place to bound. Well, I could bound to a crier. That's 45 gold, though. You get more. Bone scrolls I'm gonna. That would take us to 103. What's the most basic spear cost? 220. Alright, it's not gonna be enough anyway, so I'll keep my recall scrolls. In that case, we'll keep using our range to get through mobs. It's not going to use much XP, but we'll stop it at like level 40 if it gets that far before we have a spear. In the meantime, we'll let it level so that we're getting through stuff a little bit quicker. And up to level 40, it's basically no XP compared to what we're going to be getting from these quests. And I am doing this during double XP, which will give us another little head start there. So we're holding off on heavy armor, which is going to be another one of our big skill trees. Obviously, pole arms is going to be a big skill tree, and I plan to use shield because that'll help us, at least at the start, get through content we wouldn't otherwise be able to get through because we'll have the defense of the shield. Eventually, I'll probably go to pure, double wield spears to use offhand attack in the tactics tree, but that'll come a little bit later once we're sturdy enough to get to stand up to mobs without a shield in front of us. Another big tree for us is going to be the Earth tree. This is where Strength of Earth is, so it's where we're going to be getting a lot of our primary buff. Our primary buff will be a Strength buff. And we want to raise our attunement in the entire tree to get that Strength buff as high as possible. I won't be mixing in a lot of other magic, because this is just, a basic spears build. But I will be getting some life magic because I want to be able to heal myself, especially once we drop that shield. And we're going to go into moon magic a little bit and get fireflies, which pretty much every physical damage character that is using any magic at all should probably be using fireflies if you want to get kind of the best effect, the most out of your damage. Tactics is going to be a really big one. It's got your trained strength, your base strength skill, heavy lifter just for numbers and stuff, but it has your stances that we're going to be using. In fact, we're going to be spec'd into tactics. We're probably going to be, we're going to be tactic spec. Our secondary spec might be earth, it might be life, it might be spears itself. It could be heavy armor. We'll see what it is, but definitely tactics is going to be one of them. It's mostly for berserker stance and for getting melee and ranged critical damage off of berserker stance. It says plus 25%. That's the baseline critical damage bonus you'll get from being spec'd in tactics. If you're not spec'd in tactics, you don't get that 25%. You get 0%. So we're going to spec tactics. It'll use it'll be for our stances and particularly for that Bosun Berserker. But we're also going to go down the right-hand side and get offhand attack, which is going to be a lot of our damage once we're wielding full arms quite a bit. We have some stuff to get in focus. Subterfuge, like the armor weak points, is very strong as well. We'll be putting XP in those trees as well. When you're physical build especially, there's a lot of places to get power. There's a lot you can do to get more powerful. But it does mean your XP is spread out a little bit more than it is in a lot of builds. Mage builds can be a little bit tighter often. You have to go into as many trees to get your little sources of power. Okay, so knowing that and seeing, how much gold we have, how much XP we have, and what we would need to unlock and level things, I think the best thing to do is just to keep going. Getting some XP and getting some gold from these quests here. So go ahead and go to the commander, offer a little bit of help, and they want me to have Private Preston calm down. We'll run down the hill and do that. So we'll put on the spear. We'll also put on our shield in our offhand, and we will get rid of all this other stuff. We don't need to talk to Cedric. We need to talk to the trainer now. So, we can start training our pole arms combat. That's unlocked by default. All these other skills are going to be 100 gold each. Um, Reach is an important skill. It'll take a backseat to some other ones pretty quickly. Puncture is like the big damage skill out of this tree, and push is incredibly useful in a lot of situations, especially if you have a really high rate of attack and you're relying on a strong offense as your defense. I really like push and pull for that matter. But for the time being, we're going to unlock puncture. That's going to use all our gold, but we're going to get that on the bar immediately and start using that to level it up. And Earth Tree, we'll start spamming some Stone Fists to level that up to start unlocking our Strength of Earth as well. And Tactics Tree, we're going to have to keep leveling our healthy to actually, it's past level 10, so we can unlock these. We just need gold for them. Then we'll start, taking parry and start working towards our stance and all that stuff. But for the time being, our next goal is to buy a heavy chest, so we can start using heavy armor as well. So we'll get rolling with our spear. Look at that. They go down so easy. So I'm gonna kill these guys. They'll drop an heirloom eventually. You don't have to have the quest for the heirloom to drop. You can turn that in for golden XP, and then we're gonna run along and get some other quests along the way here. Make sure to tab target them to auto attack into them. Yes, I got the farmer's toilet paper. I got him the collar of his beloved Betty, and I got in return a leather helm of love. But I totally helped him out of the goodness of my heart. It's not for the fact that I now have a plus 5.8 dex helm. Not at all. 250 more gold. So this actually means now we can grab a just generic armor chest piece. I think the only heavy chest piece this guy might have is the chain quarter armor. Um, but we'll grab that. We'll grab whatever's heavy so we can start training those skills and get used to our reduced move speed, unfortunately. But let's see. Let's search for chest. Yep, chest quarter armor is all he has. But that's all right. 250 gold. Put that on. Oh, look how dirty our inventory is. What a shame. Let's grab a couple more skills before we head off. Now, one thing is the all-important night vision. In honor of Skeggy, we'll drag that right to our bar since darkness is falling. We can unlock Strength of Earth now because we have 10 points into Stone Fist. So we'll get that on here. We're just going to use one locked bar for now. That's about all you can do very start. But we also want to unlock Sympathy of the Stone, and this is a passive that's going to train anytime we use Earth skills. So as this gets higher, it'll raise our Earth attunement. The 10 highest level skills contribute to your overall attunement. Your base attunement is actually the average skill level of your 10 highest skills. So as we raise all this stuff up, our Earth attunement will go up, and that'll make our Strength of Earth more powerful. It'll make our Stone Fist more powerful and other Earth spells more powerful as well. But we're primarily going to be focused on physical damage with our spear. So mostly this attunement is just to bolster Strength of Earth. And we'll start locking these earlier than other things because we're only getting limited use from them. We'll lock them off, especially the active skills. We'll lock them off earlier so we're not sinking a ton of XP. there's a point at which we'd rather just put the XP directly into Strength of Earth. But we can also start using Glancing Blow, which is actually a very nice skill, very good defensive skill, and start leveling that up now that we have a heavy chest. And our life is still unleveled, but it is on our bar ready. So I think we just use the rest of our gold or a portion of it to unlock Trained Strength, for instance, get more strength, unlock Parry, start trying to throw that on here and there, unlock Armor Preservation. It's a bit early to start caring about this, so we'll leave that unpurchased for now. But what I'm going to want to do is take Defensive Stance in case we need it defensively. I don't know how much use that's going to get, but I'm also going to take Reckless Stance, and anywhere we can use Reckless Stance, we will, because we want to unlock Berserker below it. So Defensive Stance literally just it makes your armor more effective. Plus 35% armor effectiveness, plus 10% armor defensive skill modifier. So it'll also make your like your glancing blow more powerful. It's actually a very strong stance. Since we have a shield out still, we're not using dual spears. We don't really need that yet. Probably we'll see where we start needing it. Then there's Reckless Stance, which just increases your attack speed, which for us is the speed at which we're auto attacking, and that is helpful. It's also going to lower our damage, so it's going to make us pretty vulnerable. We'll probably be able to pull off using it though with our shield. At least I'm hoping. And we're only going to use this until we unlock Berserker, basically. So once Reckless Stance gets to level 40, we'll switch to Berserker, which is going to give us attack speed, but also strength and move speed. And eventually, once we get Spec, it'll give us melee and range critical damage. The downsides of it are also a lot larger. You lose way more damage resistance. You lose combat health per second, just straight health loss. Combat focus per second, and you also have increased physical chance. So it could be a little bit rough, but there's a lot of power. So that's a good kind of place for our skills for the time being. Let's go get well here as we're running, we'll kind of level some of this stuff up as best we can. And a lot of this stuff you would normally charge. A lot of it I can't charge because I only have a single card of it because we've not started leveling it yet. But I'm going to keep spamming it for quite a while just because I'd rather use it 3 times as often and have it be weaker in theory because I've not stacked it. But in actual fact, because I'm using it so much and leveling it, it ends up being stronger in a single stack than the 2 or 3 stack would have been if I had been charging it every time. Just because we level it that much faster. We have plenty of XP to do that right now. And that's pretty much just what we did. So there was about 15 minutes more of questing there, just in the outskirts, finishing those up. And we leveled those skills we unlocked earlier. Night Vision in the Moon Tree, Stone Fist, Strength of Earth in the Earth Tree, Pole Arms Combat, Puncture, obviously in the Pole Arms Tree, Healing Touch out of Life, Sympathy of the Stone is in the Earth Tree as well. We were leveling that. Glancing Blow out of the Heavy Armor Tree to get that rolling. And Trained Strength, Healthy, Parry, Defensive Stance, Reckless Stance, all those are in Tactics Tree. We raised those up a bit as well. We didn't get them super high. I don't think we got more than 10 levels into each of them, but we got rolling on them, and some of the stuff that had been unlocked by default. We have our light skill raised up a little bit, heightened awareness in the focus tree. Got some points into that as well. So that's where we're going to wrap it up for right now for this first installment, and then we'll come back. We're going to run out to the overworld here, and we're going to kind of get going on leg 2 of the adventure in the overworld. We're going to get more XP, hitting some bigger mobs out there in the real world, and we're going to look at getting some other gear upgrades as well, because we're already getting some gold. So here we are out to Novia, and I will catch you guys next time.